Here we are. Hello, everybody. All right, I hope everybody can hear me. Make sure we're all doing this right. It's Monday. Mistakes happen on a Monday. I hope everybody's doing all right. Hope you're doing good on a Monday. Let's see here. Oh, some people are pretty late. 8:35 p.m. Well, it's only 3:35 p.m., so we're doing a little bit earlier over here. Hope you guys had an awesome weekend. If you're coming to for the first time, this is Smrt English, keeping you smart all day long. I'm waiting for them to start paying me to say that. I think they will eventually. Hope so. Anyway, so I've given you the document, what we're going to be working on today. I think it's pretty useful. I know some people have been talking about working on improving writing and stuff, and it's a tough topic to do, obviously, a lot of writing, but we are going to work on one point which will be super useful for your writing, so I hope you guys enjoy that. Let me just throw that document in there one more time. Not that document, right here. Let's wake up first. Let's get this going first. Hello, everybody. Hello from Morocco. Hello, name I cannot understand, but hello, Morocco. How you doing? A lot of Brazilians. All the Brazilians are back. Beatrice, hello. Ronaldo, hello. Who else we got in the chat here? Emerson, Julian, Mohammed, good morning. Juan Carrillo. Awesome, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I hope you guys are having a good JB. What's up, JB? All the old faces are back, eh? All right. So and we got someone from Oregon. I'm not sure what people from Oregon are doing in this chat. Do you mean Portland, Oregon, or is there another Oregon that I don't know about? I'm not too sure. Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Big shout outs to you, Sultan. Hello, hello. Fatima. Hello. Hamza. Hello. Gertrudis. I'm not sure. Oh, Dominican Republic. Very nice. Welcome. Welcome to the stream as well. Julian, what's this? Can you tell me what the Parana classes are for? The Parana? The Parana classes were for universities in Brazil. So if you're wondering why did we have an extra stream on Thursday, it's because Smrt is now doing this with some Brazilian universities. So I'm not sure if that was a one-time thing, or maybe you guys will have the opportunity to participate in those classes as well. I'm not too sure. I can probably find out for you, though. But yeah, sometimes they offer it, and they offer it to everyone else, so that's kind of nice. You get a little extra there. So awesome. Okay, guys. So as you know, I'm going to throw this document in here one more time. I'll show you everything. So please take a copy of that. Let me get this stuff up here. Boom, boom, boom. So up here, you can see I've made a copy of this document, and I'd like you guys to. No, that's not what I want. Sorry. Let's try that again. Let me share this. This is what I want. I think I shared the wrong document. Shared some music with you. Music is cool too, but I think that's what you came for. Okay. Don't open the music. Open the other document. This document right here. Boom, boom, boom. This is what we're going to be working on today. So make a copy of that so you can modify it. You can edit it and do anything you want to it. Throw it in the garbage or just use it. All right. So we'll get into what we're going to work on today. Let's see here. And we're going to, when will you graduate? I'm not graduating, JP. I've graduated a long time ago. So here's what we're going to be working on today. So you know my style. You know how we do it. We're going to put up some sentences, and I want you guys to type some answers and give them back to me. We're going to be using some different structures in grammar today. So can you guys copy? You can copy all those ideas. So numbers 1, 2. There's a lot today. There's a lot here from 1 to 14, so we're going to go through number 1, number 2, maybe number 5. We're going to skip a few, and we're going to talk about what these words mean, how we use them, and finish our sentences. So let's jump into it here. And the other thing I'm going to direct you to is the smartenglish.com website, because this is where you get all your smart stuff. Okay, this is how you can constantly improve in your English. So what we're going to be working on today is we're going to be looking at the 125 section right here. And if you scroll down in the 125, you will eventually get to, where did it go? It was a 9. It was number 9. Uh-oh. Where did you go? Yeah, let's see here. Wait, I'm almost there. I almost got it. There we go. That's what we're going to be working on today. I'm going to have to log into that. But we're going to be working on this one here. Come on, get back here. Number 9.4 here, although, even though, even if. We're not actually going to do the if part of this, but we are going to look at although and even though, what are the differences between those things, and some other words which will be useful for you, especially when you're doing some kind of academic writing or something like that. Or just speaking, we'll show you the casual way to do it, we'll show you the academic way to do it, so you'll be ready for every situation that comes along. So let's get into this here, and I'll pull up that link after. So here's what we're going to start with. How do I get my head out of the way? My head is always in the way. Here we go. This is what we're going to work at first. So can everyone please take a look at number 1 right there. I always try to do the right thing. So you always try to, and this is a good expression here, do the right thing. Right? So how do you explain do the right thing? Do the right thing. Behave correctly. You know, don't do bad things. You try to be nice. You try to be friendly. You try to help people. The right thing. Okay? So the correct things. So I always try to do the right thing, but sometimes life happens and you don't always do the right thing. So what I'd like you guys to do is take that sentence, this sentence here, grab it, come on. Take that sentence there, and I want you to finish it with your own ideas, okay? So I've given you the first part of the sentence, and now I would like you to finish that sentence. So I always try to, so I'll start with my answer. I always try to do the right thing, but sometimes it is difficult to do things. Sometimes it's difficult to do the right thing because it's not always clear what is right. Deep. Okay, so that's my answer there, and my head's in the way. God, get your head out of there. All right, here we go. It is difficult to do the right thing because it's not always clear. You don't always know what is the right thing to do because it's life, and life is not that easy. So what I'd like you guys to do is, can you please make your own sentence for me? Hello, Garima. So what can you do with this sentence? What would you say about yourself? I always try to do the right thing, but sometimes. So please take that number 1, and I want you to finish that sentence about yourself. Oh, you're right. What did I do? But sometimes, no. So I always try. So the first part was I always try to do the right thing, but sometimes it is difficult to do the right thing because it is not always clear what is right. Okay? Yes, Pilar, you are a little bit late, but it's okay. Welcome in. Nobody seemed to notice that you were late, so get in here. All right. So anybody? Does anyone have a sentence? I know it's Monday. We're kind of waking up. We're slowly working into this. But can you finish that sentence for me? What would you say? So this is, here we go. Garima, that was fast. All right, so let's see here. Let's see what Garima said here. So let's throw this up. All right, and make that a little bit smaller. All right, so Garima says, I always try to do the right thing, but sometimes, unfortunately, and I'm just going to add, Garima, just maybe, often when we use these adverbs, unfortunately, suddenly, you know, all those ones, we might use a comma, and I would just suggest using it because it's going to be safe. But sometimes, unfortunately, it turns, and just right there, I think you just forgot your R there, it turns upside down. Okay, so you try to do the right thing, and then the situation kind of changes and it goes upside down, or what's another way to say that? Unfortunately, it turns upside down. Or I'll give you a new way to say that. This is good. You can say it turns upside down. But you can also say this way. It's kind of an English, I guess, a collocation. Sometimes, unfortunately, it doesn't go my way. Okay, so if you say it doesn't go my way or it didn't go my way, it's just another way to say that, kind of like turn upside down, or it didn't work the way I wanted it to. Let's see what else we got here. Sultan says, but sometimes you cannot do the right thing because it is difficult. Exactly, as well. And Sultan, just one thing. Sometimes, use it as one word together. Sometimes it is difficult to do the right thing because it is difficult. And check spelling with because as well. JB says, what's he got here? Okay, he's screaming out what we're doing today. All right. Karam says, oh, thank you, Karam. Back. I'm sure you look super handsome as well. Let's see here. Here we go. Let's try this one here. I don't know how to say this name, but let's throw it up here. Looks like a good answer. Okay, so here's the end of it. But sometimes I fail because things are harder than they might look. Very nice. Nice one as well. Things are harder than they might look or might appear or something like that. Catherine says, but sometimes it is not practical, so maybe not an easy thing to do. Sounds good as well. Catherine, awesome. Abdurrahim says, but sometimes things get out of control. Okay, so you can't control the situation. They go out of control. That's a nice one. So if you guys haven't heard that before, I'm going to put that up there because that's good. Because you can definitely learn a lot just from the other people and the way they answer things here. And I'll add your A. But sometimes things get out of control. This is a nice collocation. So if you've never used that before, you can use it. It's a good one. Get out of control. All right, let's go one more. Let's see. Bisma says, but sometimes it gets hard to do the right thing to avoid unwanted results. So just add that S, Bisma, results, and then you're good. Results, unfortunately, they're countable in English. And let's do one more. One says, I always try to do the right thing, but sometimes okay, we're just going to change this a little bit. I get the idea. I would rather be naughty. And naughty is an adjective, so we don't use A on it. So I would rather be naughty. Okay, awesome. You guys got a lot of answers here. Sorry, I'm going to jump ahead because I want to get through a few of these. But that was the first one. Let's go this one here. Number 2. Can everyone please take a look at number 2? Here's the next one we're going to do. So I asked my boss for a raise. And what is a raise? A raise is an increase in money. So if you want more money, you might have to ask your boss for a raise. However, sad story, sad life story, sometimes they don't agree. So can you guys please do number 2? Finish the sentence for number 2. I asked my boss for a raise, however, and I use they. Why did I use they? Because your boss could be a he or could be a she. So if you don't know if it's he or she, or maybe, not you don't know, of course you know, but I don't know if your boss is a he or she, I can use they because then you can answer he or she or whatever you want. All right, so let's do this one. I asked my boss for a raise, however they, let me give my answer. So they, however they, refused to give me a raise. Okay, and if you say refuse, it's like saying no. Refuse to give you a raise. All right, so let's see what else other people said here. Abdul Rahim says this is an easy and simple process. However, there are some risks. Okay, so you made your own sentence there. Nice. Let's see what else we got. However, they refuse. Okay, Catherine, you had the same answer exactly. Let's see here. Let's see what else. I asked my boss for a raise. However, he denied it to me. I'm just going to copy that, Yancy. Pretty close. Unfortunately, prepositions in English are a little bit tricky. So it's just one little thing that I'm going to change. So I asked my boss for a raise. However, he denied it from me. So we're just going to change that to from. Some verbs, you have to use them with certain prepositions. And unfortunately, he denied it from me. All right, let's see. You use they if you don't know the person's sex or if you want to avoid saying he or she. Yes, you're right, JB, you got it. Let's see. Abdul Rahim says, however, they turned my request violently. Almost, buddy. Just going to change one little thing, 2 little things here. Your sentence is okay, but you're missing an important point of it. Sometimes these phrasal verbs, however, they turn down, and this is a good one. This is, I think, what you were missing from there. This is a phrasal verb which means rejected. Same idea. Violently, like they started attacking you because they turned it down. I don't know if violently is the right word. Maybe there's another adverb, so I might replace this word with something else. Not sure what you could use. They turned down my request, maybe politely. I can't imagine anyone attacking you because you were asking for more money. I guess it could happen, though. It depends how much money you ask for. Who knows? Let's see if anyone else has one. One says, I asked my boss for a raise. However, they fired with a D1. Yes, that could happen. Gorima says, I asked my boss for a raise. However, they said, we will look into. Just one little thing, Gorima, look into it in the future. Look into something means kind of like research or get more information about something. I will look into it, kind of almost like an investigate. What else we got here? All right, let's do a couple more. I asked my boss for a raise. However, they always tried to avoid my request. Good. And And Kuram, you don't have to say for a raise again. In English, we really try to don't repeat words. So all you can do is you can finish it right there. However, they always tried to avoid my request, done. Because you said raise in the first part, you don't need to say it in the second part. But other than that, that was awesome. Last one, let's do one more. Pilar, hello Pilar. However, he says, maybe he said in the past, right Pilar? He said the company was not in a good moment right now. What's another way to say not having a good moment? Let's see here. The company, let's see, I'm going to steal this and put that up here. I think if you want a general way, Pilar, to say that, you can just say however. Oops, sorry, that's the wrong one. Let's go. This is the one I want. Copy that twice. Here. So I'm just going to change this. So, however, he said the company was not, because you're talking about something. Usually we're talking about things that are in the past, right? Was not in a good moment. And an easy way to say not in a good moment is was not doing well. Like do good, but we don't say good, we say well. So was not doing well at the moment. And I'm going to change right now to at the moment. Because maybe it's not right now. Remember, when did you talk to your boss? It's probably in the past. So even if it's like 2 seconds ago, it's still in the past in English. So you just have to be careful there. Okay. Okay, so Ahmed's got a question here. Good question, and Ahmed, I'm gonna delay you. I'm gonna deny you for a little bit because we have a lot of questions we're gonna come up and we're gonna talk about together. What do all these words mean? So just kind of hang on to that question for a couple minutes. We're gonna get there, and we're going to. Sorry, I forgot my full stop. I'll add my full stop right now. There we go, full stop. Okay, so, but hang on to those questions. We're going to do a few more. I'm going to give you a lot of opportunity to ask me questions, so just keep them for a few minutes, and then we're going to get into some right away. Let's go on to, let's take a look at number 4. Although money is important, something else is more important. So please do number 4, and I want you to throw up a couple answers. I think I'm not going to put any answers up here. I think I'm just going to speak about them, just so we can do a few more of these here. But let's see what else we got here. Kuram says, I always try to do the right thing, so back on number 1, but sometimes it is super difficult to settle down different things with the view of having little information about the situation. It is super difficult to settle. Yeah, I think I got your expression, Kuram. It's settle things down, or settle different things down. It's the same, isn't it? It is super difficult to settle down different things with the view, okay, no, you're fine, with the view of having little information about the situation. Okay, no, that's fine, that works. Just add the to the situation, because of course it's a specific situation. Let's see, what else we got here? Being healthy is much more important. Good, so your general health? Yeah, I think so. I mean, you can have money, but what are you going to do with that money later? You're going to take it with you? Probably not. Probably general health is a little bit more important than that. Samar says, although money is important, mental and physical health. How many things, Samar? You got 2 things there, so just what would you use? Not is, but are. So mental and physical health are more important, but other than that, it's good. Garima says, although money is important, okay, so Garima, you used although and but, and there's a little problem there. So money is important, but, or although, choose one of those, but good relations are. And I think you could say a good relation, but I think you want to say good relations are more important than that. Let's see here. Ahmed says, although money is important, having someone who cares about you is more important than money. Good. Very nice, Ahmed. You got it. You rocked it out of the park. And again, but just you don't, in English, we try not to repeat, so just get rid of that then money again, because you already talked about money in the first clause, so don't worry about it in the second one. And last one we'll do, Judith says, although money is important, and again, be careful, because if you have although and but, you actually shouldn't be using both of those in the same part, and we're going to talk about why right away. So although money is important, don't get rid of the but, throw it out, get rid of your but. Living life free, and you don't have to use the, you can just, because we're talking about all life. So living life free from this pressure is more rewarding in health aspects. I might just say aspects, maybe there's different aspects of health, so you want to use multiple, right? So maybe use an S there. All right, and I think, oh man, we got so many to go through. It's tough. It's tough to modify them down, right? All right, let's do this one. No, let's do one more, and then I think we're going to have to get into these. Let's do this one. Aha, let's do this. No, let's do this one. This is the one you want to do right here. So what does in spite of mean? It's kind of like a but, right, in this situation. So what would you say about this one? So let me, if I give you let me give you the long way. So this says, although I am super good looking, I. So I want you to make, of course you guys are all super good looking. I'm sure you're all amazing, beautiful people. Can you please make a sentence about yourself? So it's kind of like saying but, right? So although I am, not me, but you guys, of course, although I am super good looking, no. So again, why do we use buts and why do we use all those? So please make a sentence about number 12. All right? So go ahead, and then after we do that, we're going to jump into the grammar challenge. We're going to really learn about how to use all this stuff. And I am going to get this Smrt website going here because I am not logged in at the moment. So we can look at that. So please throw your answers in there. Let's see what you can come up with. All right, let's see here. No, not that one. This one. All right, got to log out of that. Okay, so what do we got here? What did you guys write? So, in spite of being super good looking, I am single. Oh, Juan, don't worry, hang in there. It's coming soon, I'm sure. Let's see what else we got here. Got a lot of the same answers, right? Abdul Rahim, in spite of being super good looking, I'm still single. Same one as well. Fanboys. Yeah, fanboys, we're going to talk a little bit about that. Okay, so we got a few answers here. I look very funny. We got I'm not that confident. We got a few different answers coming up. I do not much for being that way. I'm not sure what that one was, Julia, but maybe I'm not interested in being that way or something like that. Lolly, great name. Although I am good looking, I can't find a boyfriend. Don't worry. I can feel it, Lolly. It's coming soon. The boyfriend, maybe next weekend. I got a feeling it's going to happen. Okay, so Kezia, I'm not sure how to say that name. Sorry. I have poor health. Although I'm very good looking, you have poor health. Well, don't worry. It's never too late. Hit the gym, hit the cardio, do some sports, play a game. Easiest way to stay in shape. All right, and so good. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to jump in and we're going to start answering some of these questions together. So let's go here, and I'd like you guys to take a look at this one here. So the first one says there. So go to the grammar. So we're kind of done. We're going to skip ahead. We're going to answer all these questions and try to understand why we use this stuff here. So let's look at this one here. Here we go. So what is the same about all the underlined words? There's some connection between all of these things, and I want you to tell me what is the connection here. So let me see. Let me log into this guy here. Adverbs. No. Okay. So look at all the underlined words. Look at these words here. We got but, we got however, we got nevertheless, we got although. Julian, let me give you a copy of what we're doing, buddy. Is it a little late to the show? Julian, take a copy of this document here. That's for you, buddy. Grab that, make a copy of it. That's what we're doing right now. Okay, so if you look at all these words together, just rock out of that. Get out of there. Get my ninja out. Okay, so if you look at all these words, we got but, we got however, we got nevertheless. What is the connection? So what do all these words mean? Okay. And subordinating conjunctions. Okay, conjunctions. Yes, but so if I say to you, if I say but, and I say although, and I say even though, and I say while, and I say whereas, and then I say despite, and I say in spite of, or I say in spite of the fact that, what do all those words mean? All those words actually have the same meaning. They all mean, yes, thank you, you got it. They all mean, I'll give you the easy answer. Here's the easy answer. They all mean but, and they are all used to contrast. Okay, and I think that's actually the other one. Okay, sorry, Julian, you'll just have to follow with us. I won't be able to help you out. I gave you the link, but if you can't follow, just try to follow with us. I'll try to keep it nice and big on the screen. Don't worry, you can always grab that document later, okay, and do a little study after it's done. Okay, so all of those words that we looked at here, however, but, nevertheless, although, though, even though, and you can see they all have different positions. Well, they don't, sometimes they have positions that you can switch, but all of those words mean but. Yes, you got it, exactly. Okay, so now hopefully there's less confusion. You're like, oh, what does that word mean? What does that word mean? What does that word mean? They all mean the same thing. They all mean but. So we've just kind of cut through the crap, and now you know that all those words have the same meaning. So next one, here's a couple more words. Now there are a lot more. I'm just giving you the ones that I think are kind of the most useful ones, the ones that we use all the time. Do yet and still have the same meaning as all the other words? And the answer is yes. So again, these ones are the same. So if you say yet, I'm cool, I'm the most good-looking person in the class, yet I don't have any friends. It means but we just don't say but. We say another way. We say yet or still. So all of those work in the same way. All right, so what is the purpose? So we kind of talked about it already. What is the purpose? Contrast. And why do we use these things? So for example, if I say, what's one of my sentences here? Okay, so let's look at number 10, for example. Despite not being a native speaker, so imagine, so you guys, maybe you're not a native speaker, but despite not being a native speaker, you manage to communicate in English every day, either with me or with other people. Okay, so the situation is difficult, but you can do it. So why do we use although? Or for example, if I say although the weather in Vancouver is rainy, which it is, it kind of sucks, I enjoy living here. So what am I doing here? What is contrasting? Contrasting is kind of evaluating. It's like, what's good about something, what's bad about something, what's left about something, what's right about something, right? So whenever you contrast, you're kind of evaluating, right? Because this is life. This is the way you usually speak. Does that make sense to everybody? You're kind of evaluating two things. Like, although it rains a lot in Vancouver, I like living here. Although beer makes me fat, it's really delicious and I love it. Okay, so you're kind of evaluating the goods and the bads, the rights and the wrongs, the contrast of things. So if you didn't know exactly how to explain contrast, that might be a way to explain it, kind of evaluating things. All right, next one. Let's keep it rolling here. What do we always need? Not about. Let me change that. What do we always need with however and nevertheless? And you can go back and look at those sentences that we started on, and you can probably tell me the answer there as well. Oh, I'm not going to be able to log into this, am I? Okay, so what do we always need with however and nevertheless? And it's a one little word. Sometimes it's forgotten. Starts with a C, ends with a A. What is it? Starts with a C, ends with a comma. Okay, so whenever you say however, comma, nevertheless, comma. Okay, so yeah, you'll need a subject and a verb. Of course, you're making a normal sentence, but you always want to have your comma whenever you use however and nevertheless. Okay, cool. Next one. Here's a little thing. What's the difference between these two sentences? They are, now of course the ideas are different, right? Although I love pizza, I don't eat it every day. Even though I love pizza, I never eat it. A little weird. Okay, so what is the difference between those two sentences there, if you guys can tell me? So basically we're looking at two things here. We're looking at although, although I deleted it, I brought it back. Get out of here. Monday's messing with me today. Let's do that again. Boom. All right. Okay, so boom, that's your challenge for today. Although I love pizza, I don't eat it every day. Even though I love pizza, I never eat it. Now, of course, those ideas are a little bit different, but I want to know what's the difference between although and even though when you talk about those two things. So does anyone have an answer for that? Please shout it out, scream it in there. Gorima says, in although maybe I can eat. Maybe. Ketsia says different meanings. Yeah, I agree. What do you think is the difference between those two sentences? Of course the meaning is different, but tell me what's the difference between although and even though in those two sentences. No, not getting any answers. So, all right, they're the same. Yeah, they're actually not exactly the same. Sometimes they can be, but sometimes we choose to make them different. Even though says I'm never going to eat it. No. Okay, I'll give you the answer. So sometimes it depends on your opinion. So look at number one, same meaning, a lot of same meaning. No, they're not exactly the same. Although I love pizza, I don't eat it every day. Is that strange or is that normal? I think that's normal, right? So I'm just going to write here that although equals normal situation. And remember, although is but. Okay. Next one. Even though I love pizza, so not like, even though I love, well, they're both love. Even though I love pizza, I never eat it. Is that normal or is that kind of weird? I think that one's kind of weird. So when we will, and another way to say weird is unusual. So I'm going to use this word, but you can use weird or unusual or strange. So when something is a little bit strange, thank you, there you go, Julian, you got it. Even though it's strange, it's kind of unusual, right? So for example, let me give you another one. I always wear shorts. Okay, this is just an example for you. Even in winter, when it's, I don't know, minus 28. No, that's too cold. Minus 28. Okay, so you can see, even is, again, it's still a surprise. Maybe I shouldn't use that word unusual. Let's use this. This is what I usually teach. Surprise. This is why I usually teach even though. It's a surprise, right? I always wear shorts, even in winter when it's 28. It's kind of weird, unusual. It's a surprise. Okay, so there is a little bit of a difference. And if you feel surprised, then you can say even though. And if you don't feel surprised, then you say although. So it kind of comes down to your opinion when you use it. Does that make sense to everybody? I think we got that. Okay, so but remember that all these things mean but, right? All of them are fancy buts. They're all fancy buts. So it's just another way to say but, and we can say though and nevertheless and all those things. But some of them have a different meaning, you know, like even though is kind of strange or a surprise. So what's the difference between even though? Karam says, so even though, subject and a verb. Even though I live in Vancouver. Even you can use some different things after it. After even, you could say even in winter, so you could use a preposition. You could say even summer, so you could use a noun. You could say even whatever. Okay, so if you use even though, you must use a subject and a verb. Even though I love, even though I bought, even though my father loves, whatever. Okay, so those are all the things you can do. Next, let's keep it going here. So again, I'm just recapping. I'm just doing all the same things we saw in the warm-up, but I'm just looking at them from a little bit of a different angle. Look at these two sentences here. Are both of these sentences correct? While I was working, I realized that I didn't feel like working. It happens to me every day, always happens. And number two, while working, I realized that I didn't feel like working. Let me just change that. There, my spelling mistake. So what about these two? While I was working, I realized that I didn't feel, or while working, I realized. Are they both correct? Yes, Sultan, you got it. They are both correct. When you have this while, and it's not only while. You could use while, you can use before, you can use after, you could use if. So all of those you can use, and you can use an ing verb after those words. Okay? So there you go. It's just another way to do it. Don't mix. I've seen people mix them before. Just choose one. So you can say while I was working, or you could even say while I worked. You can change it to while working, and both of those are great. Next one. This one's interesting. I feel like this was more for me than for you guys, but I threw it in there just because. Whereas and while, remember, they're all buts. Can whereas and while both be used at the beginning and the middle of a sentence? Answer is yes. It's not common. We don't usually use whereas at the beginning of a sentence, but it is possible. It just really sounds quite, where's my tie? I don't have my tie. It sounds pretty formal. Okay, but both of those, and again, they both mean but. They're both different ways of saying but. Next one. All right, so next one here. What two things? There you got two options. What are two things you can use after despite or in spite of? And if you go back, look at my sentences in the warm-up, it'll give you the answers, I think, because I'm pretty sure I used both. So what are two things that you can use after despite or in spite of? Any ideas? Being. Right, you're right, Bisma, you're right. But does it have to be being? Can I use another word? Subject. Yes. Being. But it doesn't have to be being, right? It doesn't have to be the be verb. I can use another verb, right? Okay, everyone's saying be. Fine, it's being. You're right. It can only be be. No, I'm just going to change it. So you can actually use a gerund or a noun. Thank you, Govinder. You got it. So you can use a noun. Okay, so despite the rain, in spite of the rain, same. Despite the weather, despite my class, whatever. Number two, you can use a verb, an ing verb. And we call an ing verb a gerund or a verb plus ing. Doesn't matter. Whatever you prefer, say whatever you want. Okay, so that's the other thing. So despite wearing, despite going, despite drinking too much tequila for the Mexicans, or cachaça for the Brazilians, I was able to go to class on time, champion status, all right? So despite being, despite going, despite wearing, despite not having, you can use a negative. So you can use a noun or a gerund if you use despite or in spite of, and then you're rocking. Okay, so good, got it. Last one. And this is kind of connected to what we just did. What words do we always need after although, even though, in spite of the fact? We need two things after all those words. We must have them. And somebody asked this question like 2 minutes ago. What do we always need after although, even though, in spite of the fact that, despite the fact that? And then we need two things. What do we need? I'm just going to give you an answer. Subject and a verb. Thank you. Perfect. Subject plus a verb. Okay, so if you use despite or in spite of, then you can use the ing verb or the noun. But if you use all those other words, although, even though, then you must have a subject and a verb. Okay, so let's see here. So we're going to go ahead here. I'm going to breeze through these because I want you guys to write some sentences with the last 15 minutes. Here are some quotes. I like quotes sometimes. They're nice. So here are some famous quotes by some famous people. All right, so please take a look at that. Done. Okay, pretty cool. So here we go, some famous quotes. I'm always ready to learn, although I do not always like being taught. Wisdom. Sounds like wisdom. Number two, Hunter S. Thompson. I don't know if you guys have read any Hunter S. Thompson, or maybe you've seen the movie. Okay, guys, cool. All cool. So the other one, the world is still a weird place, despite my efforts to make clear and perfect sense of it. Interesting quotes. So we'll see. Maybe if we have some time today, we'll get you guys to create your own quotes using it. And the last one we can look at. Oh, actually, there's a few here. Actually, there's a lot here. We got a lot. Anne Frank, despite everything, I believe that people are really good at heart. So there's another famous quote. Next one. This one here. Sigmund Freud. Awesome. The great question that has never been answered and which I have not yet been able to find after years of research. I think I can't see everything. Which I have not been able to answer despite my 30 years of research into the feminine soul, what does a woman want? I'm sure a few guys and a few other, I'm sure a few people might agree with that one as well, right? And last one is Christopher Reeve, who was the original Superman. For anyone who's a little bit older like me, got the gray going on. The original Superman actually said this: a hero is an ordinary individual who finds the strength to persevere meaning continue, and endure, kind of like survive, in spite of overwhelming obstacles, really difficult, overwhelming obstacles, problems. Okay, so very nice quote there, so I wanted to get you through that. Now let's get to the fun stuff. And remember, you guys can use anything you've learned today. You can use despite, you can use in spite of, you can use in spite of the fact that. So here's what we're going to do. I got some pictures here. You can see Santa Claus has decided to change up his style. Okay, so here's what I wrote. So here's my sentence about this badass Santa Claus. Although his sleigh, so the sleigh, Santa has a sleigh usually, right? He's got the reindeer in the front, and then he sits in the sleigh and he's got that whole thing going on. I thought, although his sleigh was usually enough, he wanted to try something new this year. All right, so what I'd like you guys to do is please take a look at these wonderful pictures that I've put over here for you. And I would like you to make your own sentence using all these ideas. So we used although, even though, nevertheless, na, all that stuff. Don't write na. Please write a sentence. And I'd like you guys to write a sentence about any, oh, I like the monkey picture, that's kind of funny. And this one's pretty funny too, the Easter Bunny picture is pretty awesome. All right, so you can choose any of these ideas. You can write a sentence about any of these pictures that you can see here, using although, using nevertheless, using however, okay, contrasting. All right, so take a few minutes, look at that, and we're gonna look at some of your answers together. So maybe let's start with the first picture, the Santa picture, and then if you're done that one, do another one. Do one with the horse as well. What is a sleigh? This is a sleigh. Let me show you a picture of a sleigh. Santa's sleigh. There, that's a sleigh. Ta-da! This contraption going on right there is a sleigh. All right, so go ahead, guys. Give it a shot. Try to make some sentences for yourself. I'm going to give you some sentence making music here. I think we got some beats in here somewhere. Where are my beats at? Need study beats. Okay, so while you guys are doing that, while I got some music going, can you please make a few sentences? And I'm going to post them up here.
The club isn't the best place to find a lover, so the bar is where I go.
No time for Ed Sheeran.
Me and my friend.
See, all right, you guys are too fast for me here. I don't even get time to take a break. Let's see here. Karam's got one. Let's see what Karam's got. Come here. All right, which one is this? Despite going too difficult. Okay, all right, so I think we got some of these sentences might be connected to the photos, but maybe some not, but that's cool. Let's do that right there. So let's see what Karam had to say. So despite going to difficult way, not sure, I think, what can we do here? Despite going is correct, Karam. You got that far right. Despite, I would not like to look back because I want to be a successful man of the world. Okay. Some of that is pretty good. Despite, I might just say having difficulties in my life. I think this might be what you want to say, so I'm just going to put that. So despite having difficulties in my life, comma, I would not like to look back because I want to become a successful man of the world. Everything else is very nice, Karam. Good sentence. Very nice. Let's see. Samar's got a sentence about the bunny. Yeah, exactly. The bunny was kind of funny. Made a rhyme. Where is that not showing up? Let's see here. Okay. Samar says, although the bunny wants to make the baby girl happy, he failed and made her cry. Good. Very nice, Samar. Just going to make one little thing. Passed. A lot of times in English, we're going to, as soon as the situation's done, 2 seconds ago, already passed. Rest of the sentence is good. Looks all right. Let's see what else we got here. Aha, Abdul Rahim's got a good one. He says, although being kind with the monkey, let's put that up there. Although being kind with the monkey, And don't forget your comma there, Abdul Rahim. Just remember, whenever you use although, or if you use if or anything like that, while, whereas, you want to put that comma in the middle. If you use although at the beginning, comma in the middle. If you use if at the beginning, comma in the middle. He was being hit by it. Awesome. He was being attacked by it. What's another way to say? You could say hit. You could say beaten, or beaten up. Here's another. This is a phrasal verb we might say. I'm just going to introduce your sentence was right. You can use hit. I just wanted to show you another way. We have a phrasal verb called beaten up, which also works as well. Let's see here. Luana says, although I have a fear, just add Luana, a fear of horses, and a comma. I like when they, not them, but I like when they, right? When they are funny, and then that's good. Garima says, monkeys are good and well-behaved animals. However, this one is not. Yeah, usually. I think they're always kind of troublesome, right? Despite coming here to learn, we always have fun. That's the way we like it. Food AF, you got it. That's the lesson for today. Always enjoy yourself. Ahmed said, although the horse wanted to have fun with the kid, he was very afraid of it. Awesome, Ahmed, killing it. Abdul Rahim said, despite Santa. Aha, okay, so I'm going to throw yours up here, Abdul Rahim, because you got to be careful with this one. You're pretty close, but we just want to make sure. So remember, whenever you use despite, you got those two options. So despite Santa, your noun is correct, but even though you have that, you have your noun here, this one still needs to be an ing verb. So I'm just going to change that there. So even when you have a noun after despite, you still need that ing verb when you're using it that way. So despite Santa being so big, and again, don't forget your comma. Just remember whenever you use those words at the beginning, despite, in spite of, even if or when or while, you always want that comma in the middle when those words are at the beginning. When you switch and you put it over there, don't worry about it. You don't need it. But just when they're at the beginning, you should use that. Let's see. Judith says, despite their car. And again, this one's a little tricky, Judith. Same thing. This one you also want to use this here. Let me just throw that up. Okay, mud, M-U-D. There we go, all good, just that. And even this one, so even this one here, we have despite here. So even with this despite, I need to make this bigger. All right, so here we have that despite, and even that, okay, and then you have your subject, right? You have their car. But even this verb, it needs to be in the ing form if you're going to use a verb. Okay, so you can use this way, or you can use this way as well. So let's do another way. So if you don't want to use the ing form because it's giving you some problems, you can say, despite the fact that. And after despite the fact that, then you can use the normal. Oh, sorry, I forgot to change that back. There we go. So this way is also good. You can say, despite their car being. Sorry, I'm sleeping today, man. It's Monday. This is what I wanted to say. Okay, reduce it. Despite their car sinking in the mud, they felt relief not to lose their life. They felt relief in not losing their life. I'm going to change that a little bit. Not losing their life, and it would be the same thing in the second one as well. Okay, so you got those two ways, despite their car sinking, or despite the fact that their car was sinking, the normal way. So if you want to use the normal way, with despite, use the fact that, or in spite of the fact that. All right, what else we got here? Although I was relaxed, the dog scared me. Very nice. Macawi, I guess. Not sure. Sorry, I need some pronunciation practice for all these names. Let's see what else. I'm going to go down a few. Let's see here. Richard. I'm going to get Richard's answer out here. Let's see what he said. So Richard said, my son, I think this is it. So my son had fun in the car despite the horse. So I'm just going to add the there, Richard, on your sentence. That almost bit him. Because again, even this whole story was in the past, had fun, and then also the past verb for bite would be bit, and then you're rocking and rolling. Okay, so let's see what else. Gorima says, although Santa rides on a sleigh, don't forget your article, Gorima. I think this year he also wants to be trendy. Nice word, trendy. Trendy means kind of popular and popular, you know, fashionable at the moment. There you go. What else we got? Ayub says, in spite of being a frightened face, it looks like a funny situation. Yes, I think so. I'm going to throw that up as well, Ayub. So in spite of being, I think the first part was okay. Why did I bold that? All right, so in spite of being, in spite of having, I'm just going to change being, Ayub, to having a frightened face. It looks like, and we're going to just use like. So whenever you use like, you can always use a noun after it, a funny situation, and maybe just, we'll get rid of that. There's no doubt it was a funny situation. It was pretty funny. Okay, so we're rocking there. I think we're going good. JB, what does JB said? Instead of using despite the fact, wouldn't it be better if people just said even though or although? Yeah. So the thing is, and probably I need to add this to as well. Let's go up here for a second. So the one question which I definitely should have put here is which ones are formal and which ones are casual. So let me help you out a little bit. So however, now it really depends on how people speak, but I'm gonna put bold the ones which are formal. So hard to say, however. Some people speak formally, right? But I would say maybe however, it's still kind of on the formal side. Nevertheless, this is definitely formal. Okay. Although, now this one I don't think so. This one we use it all the time. Like I use although, and it doesn't mean it's super formal. What would be, so this one's kind of in the middle. All right, so let me make a list. That might be more useful for you guys. So if I were to break these down, and I think you can probably find these pretty easily on the internet. So if I broke it down like this, you would say however. I might say that however is on the formal side. Nevertheless is definitely on the formal side, which can be both. Although could be both. Even though could be both. Informal might be yet. This would it be informal? Yeah, yet. I wonder if they would use that in writing. Little thought there. I think yet would be on the informal side. So I guess the thing you need to know is which ones sound really formal, right? So let's focus on that. Despite sounds really formal. In spite of sounds really formal. So those ones are all definitely formal. Are there any others? I think while is kind of in the middle. We did that one as well, right? While whereas, where would that be? Whereas. Could it be both? Whereas, and then, yeah, I feel like. I mean, you'll probably get people switching, the categories as well. But I think if you know the formal ones, you're good. And then the other ones, like you could use them, but it's just if you said nevertheless. Just speaking in a real casual, like if you're, I don't know. There's some times when you can sound formal and there's sometimes when you don't. But if you were doing writing, for example, I would use the ones on the left side over there. However, nevertheless, despite, in spite of. I would use all those. No. Okay, so I think most people use a mix of formal and informal. Yeah, I think you're right, JB. I think some people might, they might. It really depends on how you speak. But if you look, I mean, let's see what else we got here. And you can always find more. So this is where Google is your friend. So let's go talk to Google and let's see what he or she says. Let's see what it says. Not sure if Google's a boy or a girl, but let's look at but. Okay, so always check out Google because you can always get, now here, take a look at this. Get bigger. All right. So here we go. Look at these ones. So but's a conjunction, yes. Here's another way to say but. You can say yet. You can say nevertheless. You can say nonetheless. You can say even so. So using that even again, right? However, still, Notwithstanding. Now, you know, some of them sound really formal, like notwithstanding, that sounds pretty formal. Despite this one, definitely, if you use though, and we usually use though at the end of the sentence, right? Come on, you. We usually use though. So, for example, you know, oh, I didn't like this country. I like this country though, or I didn't like this food, but I like this food though. That is really, that's for speaking, right? We always use though for speaking. Let's see here. Yeah, okay. And yeah, and again, you guys are giving me words. There's a lot more, right? I see some people using in contrast, and on the other hand, really good for kind of academic writing style. But yeah, I mean, some people might say on the other hand, just when they're speaking all the time. So you can kind of, you know, you can get away with using them however you want. All right, so I think this is everything we wanted to do. We did a few quotes, and we had some practice. So there are some things you could do here just to practice a little bit more. Maybe take one of those. Maybe you want to create your own little nuggets of wisdom like I got here. So for example, if you were going to create your own famous quote that you think everybody should remember and maybe live their lives by, you might say something like, although 6-day-old pizza may look okay in the refrigerator, it is better left untouched. Don't touch that pizza. It's a little bit too old. The Tao of Kent, some wise person said that. Okay, so I think that's everything I wanted to take you guys through. Try out those sentences, but go back to the warm-up and see really kind of what the rules are, because there are some rules you got to follow. Be careful with those ing ones that you use after, despite those are pretty tricky. But this is all the language you use, so hopefully there's less confusion about it. All those words have the exact same meaning, and maybe before you're like, what the hell does that mean, and what does that mean, what does that mean? And now hopefully it's all simplified for you because all of them have the same. Google is your friend. Always use Google. Monday is hard. Always drink coffee on a Monday. And I think that's it for us today. So go back to bed or wake up and get on with your week. Have a great week, everybody. As usual, I'll hang around in the chat if you guys have any questions or suggestions for the chat. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys found this useful. And like I said, always feel free to send me any suggestions of other stuff you might like to learn. Have a wonderful day. I am out. You guys have a great week. Will there be another lesson tomorrow? Not with me. You'll have to check the Smrt schedule for that. But I will be back on Monday of next week. As per usual, Monday's my day. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next time. Keep it smart. One of these days they're going to pay me for that. Kisses. Mwah, mwah. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.
At the table doing shots, drinking faster than we talk slow.